Welcome to Texarkana College Construction Technology. I'm Michael Lee. Let's take a look around. So as we come into the Betty and Buddy Ledwell building, this is a fantastic facility we've had the opportunity to be able to set up shop in. And through the hallway here, you're going to see a history of the Ledwell family and how Buddy built his empire that has become Ledwell Industries. Let's take a look in here. This is one of our first classrooms we'll take a look at. And this is our computer lab. And the main thing we're going to do in our computer lab is teach students about drafting. We get to use programs such as Chief Architect and AutoCAD. By doing this, we're able to start with a solid plan before we ever start and look at any projects, building these things out and getting a visual for what things are going to be like as we 3D model them as well. Come through this way, we're going to take a look at our shop. First thing you're going to notice here in the shop is our simulation studio. Inside the simulation studio, we're allowed to simulate the environment that would be heavy equipment. And this particular one here is an excavator. An excavator is going to be used almost every job site to get things started with, whether it be digging or what have you. And what this allows a student to do is learn and get familiar with what the controls of an excavator and what they're going to be able to do. This puts them in a safe environment, and it also eliminates the amount of maintenance and fuel consumption we would have in training someone in that particular machine. Other than an excavator, we've got dozers, we've got motor graders, we've got wheel loaders. We've also got a few others that are out there too. One of the other machines we've got here is our forklift simulation. With forklift simulation, same as the other, it's got a motion activated seat, and this is going to allow us to come out and simulate what the driving of a forklift would be like, all the way down to the gravity, where the wheels tip over, so on and so forth. So puts them in an environment that's going to be a safer environment, gets them confident with their skill level before we put them out on a real machine later on in the program. So we come out this way, we're going to take a look into the shop at some of the tools we would use. Now before we ever start using any tools with our students, we need to make sure they understand safety, the importance of safety. So we go through PPE, we go through hand tools and power tools, how to properly use those tools. During that time too, they're learning a lot about math, several of these different formulas that we see on here. Nothing outside the ordinary you find on a regular job site, but maybe it'd be written on 2x4s or plywood instead, but looking at how do we find the rise over run for a rafter. What's the length of that rafter going to be? What's the area takeoff need to be? How much volume do we need of concrete? As we walk our way through here, you're going to see a couple of our different saws that we use. We're blessed to have a couple of saw stop table saws with extreme outfeed tables here, 4-foot outstreet tables. Makes it very easy to work on any cabinetry work we have that comes up. We also have a nice planer, 20-inch wide planer over there. And then our CNC machine. Our CNC machine here allows us to do carvings as well as cabinetry cutouts and introduces them to the idea of programming as part of a construction build or a carpentry build out there as well. Moving this way, we're going to move into our tool room. It's a mess, but that's how we live, that's how we work. This is a working shop. So here in the tool room, you can see several of the tools the students would get used to using, whether it be anything from our battery-powered operated drills to pneumatic tools such as our nail guns, hoses, things like that, and our hand tools, levels, squares, so on and so forth. Coming back out this way, we're excited to have another CNC machine that just hasn't gotten hooked up yet, but it's on its way as soon as we get some 3-phase power over to this next space. And what you can see here is what the students have learned over the time, they start to put into effect by using those skills to build things like this module here. Now this module is bits and pieces of a building, but we do use it for everything from framing, advanced framing techniques. We used it for exterior finish. We got some interior drywall going on, and then door and window installation here recently, as well as the roof framing up top. Coming around the corner here, you can kind of see it's at the stage currently that would be just in drywall. So we've got everything roughed in as far as our electrical boxes, doors and windows are installed, and it's ready to be starting to get its second coat and finished out with texture. One last project I'll show you here out back. This is our most recent project we've got going on. So it's 14 by 32 shed we're building for a customer, a client, if you will. So what happens on these projects is the customer will bring and supply all the materials that the students have done a takeoff for. And once we have those materials, we can start to build the project for them. This particular one's been wrapped and it's going to be claddered with metal after we get done. It's a great experience for the students though, because they get to learn framing and they get to see an actual finished project with this one. So unlike the modules where they'd have to take that, put it together and then tear it down, this one gets to get hauled off and handled to somebody's house right there. So you look up, you can see the rafters, the collar ties installed, insulation's gone in, wire's been roughed in, and now we're ready to start the plywood finishing process on the inside of this. Once again, thanks for taking a tour with us. Thanks for stopping by Texarkana College Construction Technology. If you need any skilled training in the future, think of us.